I am another you, you are another me. We are one God-sciousness. And I am Crispy, a Gaian emissary of light. And I'm very excited to bring to you today, January 4th, 2023, the Mayan Embodiment Astrology for Richard Rudd, the creator of Gene Keys, which is a brilliant system of astrology. Deep respect to you, Richard. Now, I think you might find it very interesting that the Divine Mayan Tzolk'een calendar is based on DNA. Here it is right here for your visual display. Each Tzolk'een segment of that is a 260-day matrix built on two numbers, 13 and 20. The human body has 13 and 20 in it. 13 is your major joints of motion: ankle, knee, hip, wrist, elbow, shoulder. 6. 7 is the neck, reflecting both sides, and 6 more is 13. Barring accident and injury, we have also 20 digits. 13 and 20 in the human body. And human gestation, from sperm and egg coming together till approximate birth. It's different all the time, but I think the global average, especially when you consider, let's say, 200,000 years of human development, maybe much more, but let's just say 200,000 years. I bet if you were able to average the length of every pregnancy, it would be pretty close to 260 days. Amazing. Now, back to you. You were born on tone 11 of the obsidian mirror / obsidian knife. See what I did there? Glyph. Each day is a combination of the tone and glyph. Your day is called Een 258 out of 260. So you were born here, right down in this bottom corner. And tone 11 is called resolving. They make resolutions. They have great resolve. And the obsidian mirror, as you can see, is quite precise. Resolving obsidian mirror, obsidian knife, is a very interesting day, not only because it's Een 258, but also because these other 5 people share your Mayan birthday, Richard. Britney Spears, Miles Davis, Billy Carson, Geraldine Ferraro, and Barbara Sattler. You may not know Barbara, but she created the Mayan Cross website, which is a wonderful resource, and she herself just crossed over from her human body into the spirit world December 13th last year. And I made her video about her and about the 10-year anniversary of the long count of the Mayan calendar, the winter solstice 2012, a very famous date. And that long count, by the way, is based on the Tzolk'een. If you can believe it, 5,125 years is 7,200 of these precisely. And that was one long count, 5 of which makes the precession of the equinoxes. Wow. So the Maya were on a very cosmic reality, vibrational framework. At least 3,000 years ago. We're not quite sure when the Tzolk'een came through to them. They themselves say it came from the Pleiades, And they say it did not originate in the Pleiades. It came from the great central sun, the Hunab-ku, the one and only giver of movement and measure, from the epicenter of the omniverse. The creator of DNA, right? Right. Now, one of the things I always do for my clients, Richard, is I ask them, what's going on in your life? What are some concerns? What are some challenges, some issues? What do you want to get out of a reading from me? And based on their feedback, it really helps me create, first of all, what I call high vibration phrases, which is one word from the key code words of the tone and one word from the key code words of the glyph put together into a high vibration phrase. And I do at least 3 of them for their core self. And for you, these are the 3 that came through to me. Problem-solving precision. Detail-oriented universal truth. Eye of the storm focus. Now, those phrases may or may not be true for anyone else born on your birthday, but I feel they are extremely true for you. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think so. Now, one of the other fascinating things about Mayan astrology is each person has 4 guides. Your past wisdom guide is 8 days before you were born. Your divine masculine guide is 6 days before you were born. Your divine feminine guide is 6 days after you were born. And your future vision guide is 8 days after you were born. So, looking at your chart, we can see that your past wisdom guide is called Activating Dog. You might be interested to know that that is Nelson Mandela. So the 3 high vibration phrases that I came up with for you that had something to do with your past, I think, is energizing love and loyalty. You could also say the energy of love and loyalty. Or you could say love and loyalty gives energy. Anything like that. And that's why I say with 10 keywords for each glyph and 10 for each tone, there's at least 100 possible combinations. So that's just one of them. Number 2, communication of obedience. That came through for me. I'm not sure what it has to do with you, but there it is. The last one is kitchen companionship. Tone 3 is very related to the kitchen, cooking, food prep, hanging out in the kitchen. And the dog is companionship. So I am sure that in your childhood, youth, adolescence, there was something about being in the kitchen that had a great effect on the building of your foundation of your life. Now, I'm going to go in order of the tones, Richard. 3, 4, your divine feminine. 5, divine masculine. 6 is your future vision guide. Isn't that interesting? Everyone who's born on tone 11 has 3, 4, 5, 6 for their tones. And of course, everyone who is born on the obsidian mirror has dog, seed, traveler, reincarnation for your future vision guide. And I'll get back to that in a moment. Now, let's move from the masculine hemisphere over to the divine feminine. Stabilizing seed. This is Een 4, by the way, the fourth day, the fourth glyph, and the fourth tone of the Tzolk'een is your divine feminine guide. Two people you might find interesting here are Moshe Feldenkrais and Jim Morrison. So somehow you are to develop some kind of information about your divine feminine self, because that's what this is saying. Everyone has a divine feminine and divine masculine self, and we bring them together into the heart chakra. That's what Mayan embodiment facilitates. 3 high vibration phrases. Unconditionally loving sexuality. Rules of the networking game. And foundation of karma. This all has something to do with your divine feminine self. We call them guides, but really they are part of ourself. As for your divine masculine, this is tone 5. 5 fingers, empowering, helping, handy, we might say. Here are 3 high vibration phrases for your divine masculine power. Radiant way shower. Core purpose of speaking one's truth. Self-actualization inquiry. Wow. So your divine masculine power is how people see you. It's your face. It's what you present to the world when you go out the door and do your work. And I would say the Maya got you. All right. Now, going back over to the feminine perspective, the envisioning power of the future, we come to the very mysterious balancing reincarnation, the 6th tone on the 6th day and the 6th glyph. 666 is your future vision guide. Oh, high vibration. The glyph for reincarnation is called by some Mayan astrologists death. And although that vibration is 100% a part of the meaning, it's about 50%. We call it reincarnation because the Maya, like all indigenous cultures, believe in reincarnation. So for them, the word death doesn't mean death like it does to us in the Western world who've been brainwashed. Why do we even use the word washed? We've been brain dirtied by the idea that death is final and we come under some judgment and it's either up there or down there or maybe some little bit in between, which to me feels a lot like Earth. I think we're in purgatory right now. Perhaps. No, we're not. We're in heaven. You cannot have life without death. You cannot have death without life. As above, so below. As within, so without. As in you, so in me. Now, Richard, you also might notice that tone 6 can be seen, and I teach it as though it is the single stacked Rollabola. You may have had a life, a youth, possibly even up to age 26, of being on that double-stacked Rollabola. It may have been very challenging to maintain your balance. Your future is easier, as you have been evidencing in the last, I'm not sure how many years. But it is easier to you to navigate because you've lived your whole life on the double-stacked Rollobola, and now you are actually becoming your future self. Which is interesting to note is the sixth glyph, the sixth tone, and Een 6 of the 260. 666. To the Maya has no associations whatsoever that any other culture have with it, so I don't even know why I mention it to you. But it is synchronistic, isn't it? Good. Now, here are your 3 high vibration phrases that I have intuited have something to do with you. Equilibrium through death and rebirth. Practical forgiveness. Flowing serenity. I see for you, sir, the whole rest of your life as being guided by those energies. So there's a few other things I could tell you, and if you want, I will send you the whole, it's about 13-page document, and it has all the other pieces of information, which I would absolutely gladly send to you. So, that's really all I have to say today, except Een Laq, a.k.a.